Public safety announcements have been disturbing people all around the world for decades, and somehow they're only getting better at it. Designed to shock, unsettle, and sometimes outright traumatize viewers, PSAs will always stick with you. They want to scare you because fear is memorable. So today we're taking a look at some of the most disturbing PSAs of all time. Global warming. Global warming is an issue that affects every single person on this planet. It refers to the long-term rise in the Earth's average temperature, largely caused by human activity, such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and pollution. For decades, governments and organizations have tried to communicate the urgency of climate change, but statistics alone often fail to land. That's where PSAs like this one come in. Japan, in particular, has taken a solid stance against climate change. The country aims to achieve carbon neutrality by 2050, with aggressive plans to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 50%. This unsettling PSA was created by the country to visualize what climate change could actually mean for a nation surrounded by water. The PSA opens on two human-shaped figures made entirely of sand, an adult and a child, sitting on a beach beneath an umbrella. They stare out at the ocean as a slow, unsettling melody plays in the background. As the video progresses, the figures begin to melt. The adult collapses first, followed by the child, until nothing remains but shapeless, soggy sand. On-screen text delivers the message: 80% of Japanese beaches will disappear, coastlines will be destroyed, and finally, the most disturbing line of it all: it won't just be beaches that vanish, humans will too. What makes this PSA so effective is the restraint and the subtle approach. There is no screaming, no jump scares. You just watch human figures dissolve like sandcastles, and it gives you the realization that human extinction won't be loud, but disturbingly quiet if we don't act. The dread you feel is intentional. Fear, in this case, is productive. If this PSA unsettles you, then that's good, because it means that you still care, and that's exactly the response that it's trying to provoke. Climate change is terrifying, but it isn't inevitable, and the final spoken message is clear. If we act now, then maybe we won't need PSAs like this in the future. Child neglect. This next PSA also comes from Japan, and this time it was actually banned. It takes a more confrontational approach, and that's exactly why it caused so much controversy.
近頃、チャイルドマザーが増えています。近頃、チャイルドファザーが増えています。
The video shows a young child alone in a crib, crying and struggling, while the parents sit nearby in a filthy home. They haven't cleaned or done the dishes. They clearly haven't engaged with the child. And disturbingly, both parents are shown with pacifiers in their mouths. The implication is that the adults are children too. They are too immature to take care of a real human being. A message appears on screen, translated as, "Just giving birth does not make you a parent." A powerful statement, and one that clearly struck a nerve. At the time, this PSA was pulled not because it was visually disturbing, but because of its lack of compassion. Critics argued that it unfairly shamed overwhelmed parents, particularly mothers, during a period where postpartum depression and parental burnout were poorly understood and especially rarely discussed in Japan. And looking back, that criticism isn't entirely wrong. However, what complicates matters is the harsh reality that child neglect is often not the result of just mental health struggles. A lot of cases are simply a refusal to accept the demands of parenthood or genuine irresponsibility. This PSA delivers a clear message that still resonates today, even if modern audiences might wish it had been framed in a more empathetic way. It may be uncomfortable, but it certainly takes its place as impossible to ignore. Work safety. This next PSA starts calmly, and then it completely blindsides you.
I'm the sous chef here. With any luck, I should be head chef by next year. I've got this amazing fiancé, who I won't be marrying this weekend, because I'm about to be in a terrible accident. But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there, and they should never put the deep fryer so...
A young woman speaks directly to the camera, introducing herself as a sous chef. She talks about her ambitions to be head chef, her love for her job, and casually mentions that she's getting married this weekend. Then, she says something chilling. She tells us that she is about to be in a terrible accident. Moments later, while carrying a large pot, she slips on grease. Boiling water pours over her face. She collapses, screaming in agony, as the viewer catches a split-second horrifying glimpse of the aftermath. The brilliance of this PSA lies in its misdirection. You expect a minor injury, maybe a cut finger or a choking hazard, a burn to the hand at most. Instead, you're confronted with a life-altering accident. Titled Top Chef, this Canadian PSA became infamous for its horror when it aired. Not only that, but it also became famous for where it aired. Not only did it run during primetime television, but it was also shown during ad breaks for children's programs. Imagine being a kid settling down after school to watch something like, I don't know, Horrid Henry, and suddenly something like this appears on your screen. That would absolutely terrify you, and understandably. Canada has a reputation for disturbing PSAs, and this is a perfect example of why. It purposefully traumatizes you into remembering its message. And the best part of it all, it clearly works. Fire prevention. This PSA comes from Britain in 1974, and it remains one of the most haunting fire safety films ever produced.
Nancy? Jimmy?
Please keep matches away from children.
The video follows a figure walking through the ruins of a burned building. Water drips from the ceiling, and everything is charred. The home is disturbingly lifeless, but as the camera moves deeper into the house, it sparks into life. You hear the faint screams echoing in the background that get louder as the video progresses, calls for help, and eventually, the camera stops at a wardrobe in a bedroom. Suddenly, the video burns away and is replaced by white text. Keep matches away from children. The implication is the scariest part. Children found matches, a home burned down, a family died. Directed by highly rated documentary filmmaker John Krish, the PSA feels less like an advert and more like a horror movie. And that's exactly why it's so effective. It is widely considered one of the scariest fire safety videos because it stops viewers in their tracks, forces them to pay attention, and scares them a little. Because of that trio of emotions, it helps it to stick with people. People will remember the message, and maybe they'll be more careful about where they store their matches. Fire safety. This next PSA comes from my home country of Scotland, and it's easily one of the most horrifying on this list.
When your smoke alarm goes off, make sure you know what to do. Plan your escape now, or you might live to regret it.
It begins with a black and white family photograph. Slowly, it catches fire. A smoke alarm begins to blare as screams are heard. One by one, the family members from the photo disappear into the flames. When the photo is completely burned away, we cut to a man jolting awake in bed with a horrifying scream. His bedroom door morphs into the burning photograph before he wakes up for real. He turns off his alarm as he clutches the family photo on his bedside table. As he lies down in bed, the implication becomes clear. He survived this fire, but the family didn't. The PSA ends with a simple message. If your smoke alarm goes off, you need to know what to do. Plan your escape before it's too late. This PSA doesn't rely on unnecessary gore. It simply relies on survivor's guilt and a little jump scare. The implication is deeply upsetting as well as unsettling, and it shows the reality of what could really happen. So if you're watching this right now, genuinely take a moment to think. Do you know how you would escape if a fire started tonight? Plan it, or you may end up regretting it. Gun prevention. Sunday lunch is widely considered one of the most shocking PSAs ever created, and for good reason, and although it's popular, it would feel rude not to include it on this list.
Hi, you alright?
Why, yo?
What's up?
Hello?
Hi.
Come on, man, where's my fish fingers?
Your fingers?
No.
Come and pick up the kids from school tomorrow.
Yeah, if you don't mind.
No, blood, that rave yesterday was big, like.
Hey, no, blood, serious.
Big one.
I bet you any money, Anton flopped the show.
Hey, man, man, he always does that,
Doesn't matter what the occasion, birthday, christenings, my man always finds a way
I'll
to
tell you
flop the show.
something though, it's a good thing your man never come because he's a big hat.
Released by Southwark Council in 2006, the PSA begins like a normal family drama. The family sits down for Sunday lunch, chatting about school, plans, and the week ahead. The teenage son offers to walk his younger brother home from school. Another teen hesitates, hinting that it wouldn't be safe. Then, the conversation takes a turn. The boys talk about a shooting involving a gang member friend they know. They casually agree that kids shouldn't be involved in that world. As they talk, the mother silently moves to another corner of the kitchen. She retrieves a pistol from a hidden shelf, and without warning, she pulls the trigger while aiming at the youngest son. Blood sprays across the table. The family freezes, and horrific screams follow. Text appears on the screen. If you keep quiet about gun crime, it's like pulling the trigger yourself. In 2006, believe it or not, this PSA was shown in British cinemas. Despite it having an age rating of 15, it was only shown before films intended for people aged 18 and older. Shockingly though, it was actually shown on television at one point, being aired before the watershed, meaning that it could be shown at any point throughout the day. It was promptly banned though, which sparked this move to theatres. The power of Sunday lunch comes from betrayal. It makes you feel safe and then punishes you for trusting it. The violence is horrific, and as someone who had never seen this PSA before researching this video, it absolutely floored me. If this had come on TV when I was younger without warning, it genuinely would have haunted me for years. And that's exactly the point. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so that you never miss an upload. We're getting really close to 30k, so wow, I mean thank you. My end of year goal for this year is 40k, so let's hope we can do that. I'm sorry for the bit of delay in uploads. I've just started a new job as a journalist, obviously, so I've been spending a lot of time doing that, but don't worry, these videos are not going anywhere. I just want to start working on bigger projects again. With that being said though, let me know in the comments which PSA in this video you found the most disturbing, and also anything else that you would like to see me cover here on the channel. Don't forget to check me out on social media. I have Instagram, Blue Sky, and Twitter, and you can also join my Discord server to get involved with the community. That link is in the description. Thank you so much to my Jessica Plus members, Maury Gann, Alex Rod, K4 Silver, Entrepreneur, Colette Key, Brooke, Carmilla, Based Finger, Midnight Kitty, Willow, Briar, Fizzy, Frozen Roses, Greenlee, Snail Namgu, Jaskier, Shiv the Shrew, Riddy Jazz, Mikey Poopy, Clara, and Ivo's Space. I'll be back very soon with another video, but if you want another right now, then I think that you'll like the video that's on your screen.